It's annoying, but it's a bot, and it cannot go on any longer. Hang it up, flat screen. I would have dragged you regardless. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be discussing all of the tropes that I do not like in movies, TV shows, books, all of that. But first, we do have a sponsor for today's video, and it is Audible, so let's get on. Today's video is sponsored by the lovely people over at Audible. I have used Audible way longer than when they have sponsored me. I love Audible. Audible is so easy. You can literally just have your phone out, turn on. I like to hook my phone up to my speaker and just play an audiobook while I'm cleaning, while I just want background noise. I love Audible, and Audible does not only have books, they have podcasts, they have sleep regimens, they have all types of things. So Audible is a place that has an extensive catalog of audiobooks. Audible has something called its Plus catalog, and in the Plus catalog you do get access to things like meditation routines, sleep rest patterns, podcasts, Audible originals, all types of things. Audible is just not only a place for Audible books, they offer a huge array of things. If you are new to Audible, you do get a 30-day free trial, and when you become an Audible member, you do get a free audiobook every single month, and that's what I love about Audible. I definitely be out here using my free book, and that is how I am able to get books off my TBR. For example, I have been listening to the book One of Us Is Next. This is a sequel to One of Us Is Lying by Karen McManus, and I love listening to this. I did not know if I was going to read the sequel because I just wasn't in the mood to like sit down and read the book. I wasn't that like that into the book, but I turned on the audiobook and I have been loving it, and it has knocked off a book off my TBR, and that's what I love about Audible, just putting it on in the background. So if you would like to try Audible and get a 30-day free trial, or just start your membership of Audible, go to audible.com/Kenya or text 500 Kenya to start your Audible free trial. Get 30 days free, get access to the Plus catalog, which has way more than just audiobooks. I would recommend checking out the Audible originals. They're really good. And yes, Audible, thank you so much for sponsoring today's video, and let's get on into it. So a trope is basically, you don't have to try to make tropes be this like big like thematic thing. A trope is basically an element in any type of media, any type of creative arts that is used for an intended purpose, and it's done over and over again. So now it's a trope. It's something that is used to convey a certain feeling, a certain emotion, or a certain like meaning. So themes can be tropes, symbols can be tropes, characters can be tropes, literary elements can be tropes. All of those things can be tropes, and it is used to convey a certain purpose. A wide known thing that people like to use, if you don't understand tropes, when someone is dressing up as a superhero, they wear a cape. So if a person has on a cape, you know that they are probably dressing up as a superhero, because it is a trope that people wear capes when they are dressing up as superheroes. So you could say, I wish people would stop wearing capes when they're trying to be a superhero. How about I wear something? That will be you saying you don't like that trope, that is something that is widely used to show something else. But I have so many tropes that I do not like, because once upon a time I did read a lot of books. Before the depression hit me, I did read a lot of books, watch a lot of TV shows, and watch a lot of movies. So I have a lot of tropes that I like and a lot of tropes that I do not like. So let's get on into it. Number one, music and playlists. I do not like movies, shows, or especially books. Especially books. I like it the most in movies. I like it a little less in TV shows, and then I hate it in books. The reason why it's on this list is 100% because of books. I hate when characters are obsessed with music and they make playlists for each other. I think that is something that reads better in the real world than it ever does in fiction. I hate when characters are obsessed with music, and every 2 pages they're bringing up a musical reference, and it's always the worst goddamn music you've ever heard. It's always the oldies, and not the good oldies, not the black oldies. It's like the rock oldies, and it's just like no one cares. And the reason why I hate it the most is because it feels feels like a self-insert. It feels like the author of this book really, really likes music and believes that they have this incredible music taste. So they're going to write in their book their incredible music taste. Like, oh, I know all these legends and I know all these songs, all these obscure songs and all these obscure facts about certain artists. And it's just like, no one cares. Like, genuinely, no one cares. And that's what I find myself doing. And then the playlist, when they make playlists for each other, I'm just like, this is supposed to read as cute and it's just reading as ugly. I do not want to see it. So I absolutely hate music when in books. I hate the music and playlist tropes. It is tired. It is late. The next trope I hate is road trips. I do not like road trips in books. Now, this is one of those things where I absolutely love it in one media, but I hate it in another. I hate it in books, but I love it in TV shows. When we're on about season 3 of a TV show or season 2, and everyone has secrets and all types of things that they have going on in their life, and we take all our main characters and put them on a road trip. One Tree Hill does it the best. Gilmore Girls did it amazing when they went to Harvard. You take everything that's going on and you put them on a road trip and they have to deal with all of their feelings. I love it in TV shows. And the reason why I love it in TV shows is because it's an earned moment. We spend separate times with each character and now all these characters are coming together and they have to deal with one another. It's earned. But in books, I don't know these people. I do not know these people. If I take a book that's just a contemporary standalone book and we start off on a road trip, I don't know none of these people. So the purpose of the road trip trope is to get feelings out. It's to take all these characters who have certain character traits, personality types, storyline, and make all of them interact. The purpose of it is for everything to come to a head. That's what the trope is used for. It's like a bottle episode. It's used to contain your characters into a space and have to deal with their issues. But in books, we don't have enough time for me to care. If on page 20 we're already on the road trip, I don't know what's going on in these people's life to care. Some things do it well. They quickly tell you what each character has going on where you can care, but I usually just find it cheap. It's a cheap way to get suspense. That's why they use it in television shows, because it's a cheap way to get everybody riled up. But in books, I absolutely despise it. I don't want to see y'all go on road trips. It feels claustrophobic. I feel trapped. I do not like it in books. Next thing I don't like in books, TV shows, or movie, secret societies. I hate secret societies. This is an unpopular one because I know a lot of people love secret societies, and I don't like secret societies. When I open up a book and it's about a bunch of people in a club or a secret society, I immediately lose interest. I don't know. It has this fantastical element to me that I don't necessarily enjoy, but it's weird because I love books and TV shows and movies about frat houses and sorority houses. I love stuff like that, but I don't like secret society club. I don't like it for some reason when it comes to like other stuff. We have a secret society. We meet up every single night. I don't like it. A lot of people use it in young adult thrillers, and it's not for me. I never like it. I always feel like another thing that feels kind of claustrophobic, and it's always used in the exact same way. So we have a secret society, then an outsider comes into the secret society and kind of blows the whole thing up and turns it on its head. It's always used in the exact same way, and I don't want it. The next thing I do not enjoy in trope is dead parents. I would much rather you have neglectful parents than dead parents, because I always feel like dead parents add this element of angstiness to a character that I do not want. It always adds this chip on their shoulder thing, which is understandable because your parents aren't alive, but it just adds an element of cruelty and an element of depression and pain that I don't like seeing in my book. So when we start a book and it's my mom's dead, I'm just here we fucking go again, because it's just I feel bad for you, that sucks, and so I just hate when people use use that trope, because it's always used, because it's a trope, to do the same thing, to explain why the character is sad or depressed or angsty or mean. Like, and I'm tired of it. Like, there's other ways to show why a character has a chip on their shoulder that's not killing off their parent. And also, another way it's used is because you want this child to have no supervision. So you're like, let's have them have no parents. And it's just like, okay. The next thing, the feminists are gonna come for me. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose my black feminist card. I hate work-oriented women, specifically in books, and it's not for the reasons that you think. I hate work-oriented women in books because it has nothing to do with the plot. It has nothing to do with the plot. When there is a woman who is very work-oriented and she is in a book, we spend so much of the book with her. Shut the fuck up. We spend so much of the book with her at work, and then they do something that's even worse. They go on to explain the woman's job to me, and I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care. Because here's the thing, when I am reading a romance novel, I care 10 times more about the woman than I do about the man. That's why I don't care about work-oriented men, because they really never break down the man's job. For some reason, when it comes to books, there's never really, they'll tell you that a man is work-oriented, but they never go into what his job is. I don't know what that is. That's probably some like thinly veiled misogyny, but they never go, you're just supposed to believe that the man is work-oriented. But when the girl is work-oriented, they spend the whole book trying to prove to you that she's work-oriented instead of just telling me and me believing it. But you gotta explain to me everything she do at her job. And I'm just like, this is a fictional world. You do not have to explain to me the filing system at her job. I don't care. Get cut to the flick. Like, I don't care. So I hate work-oriented women. The next trope that I hate is overly available adults. I read a lot of adult romance, and I hate when adults are overly available. So let's say there's a girl character, right? And she's just like a fuck up. Her life is always all over the place. And there's a male character who is her love interest, who is overly available. He is always available to help her with something, even though we're told he has a job and he has stuff to do. He's always available to come over. He's always available to do something. He's always down for a road trip. He's always down to meet your family. He's always down. And it's just like, that's not real. Like, nobody is this available for somebody they met 2 weeks ago. Like, it's weird. Like, it gets creepy after a while. It starts making me wish that this was a thriller novel and he low-key was a stalker. Like, whenever that happens in a romance book, I start wishing that the person was actually a stalker and creepy, and it would explain why he's so weird. But romance novels never want to take it there. Like, that's why he's so available and he's always around and he always sees you at the grocery store, and because it just gets weird after a while. It's just like, why is this man who you're telling me has a full-blown job and a full-blown family always available for this girl at any given moment? It stops being cute and it starts being like, you ain't got nothing else better to do? Like, can I get some chase? Like, can I enjoy the chase? Anyways, next one is needy family. If I am reading a story about two people, no matter what the story is about, and there is random family members with all this yap and all this mouth, I hate it. I hate it when there's a needy family, an opinionated family, a needy family. Like, shut up. I'm not here for you. I'm not here for you. I'm not here for you. I don't want you here. I hate the book that did it the worst was The Proposal by Jasmine Guillory. Every time his pregnant sister came in the story, I was over it. Like, no one cares. Needy family. Next thing, this is just my escapism thing. I I hate books with money problems. I much rather money just not be a subject in books than having money problems. I hate when money problems are used as a plot device. I don't want to hear about poor people. I could just like go to real life if I wanted to read about poor people. Like the point of and I'm talking about like fiction, like high fiction, not like literary fiction. Like literary fiction, I get it. It's about real world. But I'm talking about just fiction, like a romance novel, a thriller novel. Like I don't care about your money problems. Like to be honest, the more ambiguous your money situation, the better. That's why I love Gilmore Girls. I love ambiguous money. Like I love like who knows how they get money. Like it's fun, it's cute, it's camp. Like it's very like whimsical. I love that in books. So when people like when we spend 50 chapters about you and your money problems and y'all can't like I hate it. I hate it. I hate it in movies, I hate it in books, I hate it in everything. The next thing that I dislike, over extroverted women. This is feminist chickens coming home to roost. For some reason, when a book claims to be feminist and we're girl power and girl boss, they make the women characters overly extroverted to the point of them being rude and brash and crude and mean and overstepping boundaries. I hate overly extroverted women in books because it starts reading as like comical. So like she'll be sitting at dinner and like the table beside her, someone will do something annoying, and she'll stand up in front of the like entire dinner party and be like, you're weird and don't do that and you're disrespectful to women. And it's just like, who does that? Like who does that? But you're trying to show that she's this feminist and girl boss character, but you're just making her look stupid. Like overly extroverted. I don't mind extroverted women in books. I actually kind of like that the best, but overly extroverted where she's just like overstepping people's boundaries and she's just brash and just making me uncomfortable to read. I hate that, and they do that a lot in these little feminist books. The next thing that I hate is the off-camera saboteur. I love mess, so I love a saboteur. I love someone who comes into a book to just fuck up everybody's time. I love it. But the off-camera saboteur, and this doesn't always have to be people, it can be things. For example, you got a new job, so you have to move away. That is an off-camera saboteur. Who gives a damn about this job? Why is this job that we care nothing about ruining our whole story? Your parents don't want you to be with this person. Mind you, we never met your parents. Who asked? Your girlfriend who you've never spoken about before comes out of nowhere and wants you back. What the hell? You got this random girl pregnant 2 years ago who we never knew anything about, so now you have a baby. What? That is what I call an off-camera saboteur. You get into a car accident and it changes the entire scope of the story. An off-camera saboteur. Basically, when you come into the book with some information that ruins the entire narrative that we have put together for the past 200 pages. That is an off-camera saboteur, and I do not like that. Like I like it when moments are earned. You earn when the story crumbles, we are earned that moment. That is what I like. I do not like it when all of a sudden someone comes in with a sticky note and it ruins the entire narrative. I hate, my parents told me I'm moving, so we can't be together anymore. What the hell? Like what? Like this is what's gonna ruin my romance? You moving? Or I got offered a new job. Like that is an off-camera saboteur. Something that has nothing to do with the narrative, but now ruins the entire narrative. The next trope that I hate is I'm not a relationship person. When two people who quite literally should be together say that they are not relationship people, a mess. Like who are we doing this for? Like, oh my gosh, I don't want a relationship. Because in real life, when two people who are not planning on being in relationships start to like each other, they just get in the relationship, and if it crumbles, it crumbles. But to be so sold and married to the idea that you don't want to be in a relationship, even though y'all spend every single night together, y'all text all day long, you fantasize about them all day, y'all do, like, y'all are basically already in a relationship without the title, but y'all, I'm not relationship people. But mind you, 2 chapters ago, you were over there talking about you were upset that he he was talking to another girl. You are a relationship person. I hate when I'm told people are not relationship people in books or in movies and shows, but everything I've seen for the past hour shows me that y'all are in fact relationship people. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Another trope that I hate is fade to black sex scenes. Like when two people are kissing and then they're about, obviously this is the sex scene moment, but you fade it to black. There's a reason why this is done. Everybody don't want smut, but I do. I want all of the smut. So fade to black sex scenes, I don't want to do any of that. The next thing that I do not like, fairies. I know you guys, and fairies is fairies a trope? Like, I don't know. But books about fairies, a lot of people love fairies and mystical creatures and all of those things. I do not like fairies and trolls, and I feel like all those things belong in the same category. I do not like fairies. I do not like trolls. The next thing that I do not like is the chosen one trope. The chosen one trope makes me itch. I just feel like we've seen it be done so many times, and it's done in every single book. And every single book, there is just so much more of an interesting way to tell a story about someone who is thrusted into great responsibility without making them a chosen one. Like, I just like my characters to fall in to a lot of stuff, so I do not like that. The next thing that I do not like is quick romance, and I know that's everyone's favorite thing. I do not like quick romance. I do not like it when all of a sudden you meet someone and you are instantly star-crossed lovers. I do not like, and it's because I'm a friends to lovers type girl. You want to know what trope? I could make a whole video on tropes everyone hates that I love. I love love triangles. People hate love triangles, and I love a love triangle that is done well. Is one of my favorite tropes in all of I love it. I absolutely love it. The next trope I do not like is sports. I do not like books that are about sports of any kind. I don't mind it if there's like a sports team and then there's like underlying stuff. I don't mind, but when sports is the crux of something, I have no parts in it. And I like sports. I watch football. I love sports, but I do not want to read books about sports. I do not want to hear about the jocks. I do not like it. The next trope that I do not like is the losers trope. The losers who are thrusted into popularity. I do not like it. It is not fun to me to see the losers of the school all of a sudden date the bad boy or date somebody who is popular. That trope does not interest me at all. That's more in young adult media, but I do not like it altogether. I absolutely hate it. Another trope that I do not like is the meddling friends. I do not like meddling friends. I do not like it when friends come in and they have all types of things to say. The meddling friends trope is tired. It's plain. I do not like it. The next trope I do not like is the fuck up trope. The person who just messes everything up for the sake of messing things up. The person who sabotages their own life. I do not like it at all. The next trope that I hate, and it's probably my least favorite trope of all time, the memory loss and amnesia trope. I love thriller novels. I love a good thriller. And if you've never seen me, sometimes I stick it out. Sometimes I stick it out. But if all of a sudden the thing that happens in a thriller, someone dies, someone goes missing, who knows, y'all wake up the next morning and nobody remembers what the hell happens, I divest. We got too drunk, we were drugged, because number one, it adds an element to the story. Now we gotta figure out who drugged y'all or who got y'all too drunk, and it adds another mystery that I want to know why the person's missing. I don't want to know how y'all got, like, it's just it becomes a sleuth story. It becomes a let's patch the night together, and you can do that, but have everyone. The better thing to do is have everyone have their own side of the story, and there's a middle somewhere. That's the best way to do it. But have everyone forget everything. It's just a way for you to come up with 200 pages of a story, because we're going to spend 150 pages trying to figure out why we forgot everything and coming out with different stories of what happened. It's just like, that's not interesting. It's much it shows me you're a stronger writer if you can give everyone a story and everyone have a reason to lie. That's the better story. But to simply have, everything happens, someone's missing, there's blood on the floor, and there's things broken, but I lost my memory. And it's just like, okay, I guess. But those are just some of the tropes that I do. Did I get everything out? Yes. Those are just some of the tropes that I do not like in books. Tell me, or movies, or anything. Tell me some of the tropes that you dislike. And once again, Audible, thank you so much for sponsoring today's video. And yeah, let's get it.